Hello guys, welcome back to another weekend market recap. We had a really nice bullish week. As my last midweek video stated, the market sent some really bullish hints this week, starting on Thursday, I believe it was. And Friday, we continued those hints. We followed them through, and I'm here to tell you guys this bull market is still heating up. And we're going to look at weekly charts in this video, and you're going to see the massive breakouts that have happened on weekly charts this week that are likely. Now, likely, nothing is for sure, right? But from what I'm seeing, this market can really, really heat up this next week or two, okay? So let's just start with the SPY weekly chart. Here we go. It's a little bit messy, but there's a lot of levels underneath, and I want to show you guys why I have them marked. Make sure you guys understand. Here, these dashed lines are the weekly trend lines. Green is the monthly trend line. So we know where we're at. We are getting a bit extended from those breakout trend lines. As always, we have to keep in mind when the market is extended, we shouldn't be surprised by a red day coming out of the middle of nowhere, right? We have to always be ready for that. But yeah, let's get into it. So daily chart here on SPY. Here's the daily trend lines we have. We have these solid trend lines here. We talked about it being a pivotal area that we either push up really fast. I said a big move was coming, right? We were either going to push up very quickly off of these trend lines with lots of buyers, or we were going to break these trend lines and have a big move down, right? The correction. And we can now see which one played out. We had the big move up, right? And I'm going to go ahead and explain in this video why I think it's still just getting started. Let's go down to an hourly chart and just break down this midweek action first. I saw this hourly kind of channel forming, and so I decided to draw these trend lines on an hourly chart. I wanted to make sure whenever I see a very nice pattern forming on an hourly chart, I tend to draw those too. Mostly I just stick to daily and weekly, but I do like drawing hourly too because it can help with day trading, help with the intraday price action. And I want you guys to see how this trend line acted on Thursday and how this level of 329.50 that I had marked when price action was back here, I had this level marked. And just look at how incredible that is that we gapped above, and you can see how we just rode the level and rode the trend line all the way up before breaking up and giving us those bullish hints that I spoke about in Thursday's midweek video. We stayed above the channel, and now we went sideways all day Friday with a break up at the end of the day. They ran it up right into the close. We can see right here, right into the close, right back down after hours. But I only care about what happened during market hours, right? I only care about what happened during market hours. We broke out. So long as we don't open maybe down below this trend line, perhaps, that's a bullish sign, right? So we'll see where we open. There's no market Monday, so there's going to be futures trading throughout Sunday and Monday, so the market could move a bit. We'll have to see where we open. Okay. Now, I want to take you guys through weekly charts on these sectors, okay, where we have some big hints that the market is giving us. The SMH. We've talked about how messy of a chart this has been on the daily chart, and I want you guys to see that we've now had a weekly breakout after 4 weeks of consolidation. 4 weeks of consolidation. We've closed the week at new highs. We've closed the week above my important level. That's bullish, right? We didn't even get to the trend line test on the daily. It's incredibly bullish, guys, and I don't know if we have, maybe we bounced the weekly trend line here. We did, yeah. So here right there is about the weekly trend line. You can see how we held that. You can see how this week we came down and the tail tested that trend line. and we bounced up to new highs. So that is a breakup. That is a breakout. The SMH, look for AMD and QCOM in particular. I want you guys to see these charts. AMD we got into at the close on Thursday because we closed out of this inside bar pattern, and that is huge, right? Whenever something has a breakup, you want to mark the top of that when all the candles after are inside, and you want to mark the top of that candle as your breakout range. Don't use this pivot. Don't use this pivot, right? Use the top of the breakup candle when all of the next candles are closing inside of it. And then once you get a daily close above that, boom, that's a breakout. As you can see, AMD up about 2.5% today. I don't think it's anywhere near done. I think we'll see. We'll see. I don't know for sure, but AMD's known to run. And with the SMH on a weekly breakout, don't be surprised if AMD hits 55 to 60 next week. Okay, QCOM as well is a pretty insane breakout. QCOM up 5% today, almost 5%. We have a daily trendline break, right? Closed above. On top of that, this big zone that I have is a weekly inside bar like I just showed you on AMD, but on a weekly chart now, and much wider, right? Much wider. Nevertheless, this is a weekly inside bar break, and this is absolutely massive. I mean, look what happened last time QCOM had an inside bar, which is right here. Look at all that consolidation, boom, we break it. Look what it does the next 2 weeks. I'll let you guess what you think QCOM is going to do in the next 2 weeks. And we'll check back on it. We'll check back on AMD, QCOM, SMH in the next weekend video, and we'll see where they're at. And I bet you they're a lot higher. So let's go on. IWM, the small caps. Again, these are a risk on, risk off type of market. They were lagging today. They were down 0.27%. So that's something to note. It's definitely something to note. It closed inside of the weekly trend line. But again, if we look without trend lines, without any levels, what is price doing currently? All right, let's look at that. Well, it went up. It consolidated for 3 weeks. And regardless of where exactly we closed, whether it's below the trend line, on the trend line, or whatever level it closed at, that's a bullish candle, right? And there's nothing that says the IWM can't turn around and retrace that whole candle, close below the low. That would be bearish. Then we'd have to change our mindset, and it all starts on lower time frame charts, right? We have to see, is there a high volume reversal happening in an hour, right? And then does that turn into a daily reversal, especially noting volume and if important levels are recaptured. If the top of this consolidation range is captured on Tuesday's trading day and we have a huge reversal day, well, then we might turn into a weekly reversal. But for now, this is a bullish breakup. We have to keep in mind that it is at this trend line. But again, this trend line has 2 touches, right? It's not super important. It closed above the level that I think is important. We went up and almost touched my next level. So guys, I mean, it's still looking good. And with the market looking good, I see this as a bullish sign until it's not. Okay, I see it as a bullish sign. Go down to a daily. And right, we can see all it did is have a down day, right? We've had 4 up days, huge up days in a row, right? We had a bullish flag. Is this normal in a bullish manner to pull back, retest this opening range low, and bounce a bit and close the day there? Absolutely. Is it bearish at all? No. Not bearish whatsoever. Can the IWM come down, fill this gap, and continue on its way? Absolutely. So that's what the levels you want to keep an eye on are this closing price of this day and this 168.53, the low of this range right here. If we keep holding this, well, then the IWM is for sure going higher. We have to see that in live action, but I'd expect for either this level to hold And if the item gets back to this gap, I'm buying it. I'll tell you that. I'll buy it. I played it on the way up. I'm out now. I'll buy it at this gap for sure. Right? You have pivots, you have a gap, and you have a bullish market until it's not. Okay. DJT. This is another one, guys. This is a weekly trend line. Let's go to a weekly. This is another one. This one's a little more valid, right? It's had 3-4 touches. So it's a little more valid, and we closed below. That's definitely noted. But once again, notice how big the body is compared to the tail, right? It's easily 3/4 of the bar is the body, right? We close near the highs. What else do we close over? Well, we close over this zone, right? That's this breakup candle high right here. We close over that zone. That's 100% bullish. If the DJT continues next week holding this zone for a day or two or three, this thing is absolutely going to continue this rally up to my next important level. It's going to break this trend line, and at that point, it's probably going to break the highs. It's bullish till it's not, right? Until we see some sort of signal, we have to take the price action for what it is. That is a bullish candle regardless of this trend line. Where it closed was very bullish. I wouldn't be surprised if this breaks out of this trend line within a couple weeks, if not next week. Now, the most bullish signal of them all, the XLF, 30.98. That was broken this week. That is taken from the old all-time highs. You can see right there. We just closed weekly over the all-time highs on the XLF. Not only that, but the price action in the XLF has simply been a bull flag for 4 or 5 weeks now, above a trend line resistance. So, again, incredibly bullish signal. As long as financials can close, say, another week, and especially at the end of the month, above those highs, man, we're going to take off a lot higher than people think. And that doesn't mean we can't have pullbacks in between. Of course, that's going to happen. But as far as a long-term picture, this market is looking very strong. And until we see otherwise, keep buying dips, right? Keep finding those sectors that are breaking out, find those buy opportunities. And you really can't go wrong playing one of the best bull market runs I've seen in a while. I mean, just very easy money to be made in this market as long as you play the trend, right? And I see so many people that like to focus on economic indicators and even technical indicators, right? And you can see my charts. There's not a single indicator on them. And the reason for that is because I tried that shit, right? And I tried it. And I tried every indicator in the book. And you know what? The reason I don't use them is because, I found from personal experience that they're incredibly misleading, right? You've got people talking about yield curves, and you've got people talking about their MACD crosses and their RSIs being oversold and their moving averages crossing. And it's going to cloud your mind from the actual price action. What is important? Well, where price moves, right? That's how you make money, right? So why would you focus on something that's not telling you how to make money, right? An indicator is lagging. It's telling you what's already happened. It's telling you that this week went down, and so your MACD is going to curl down a little bit, and then you think there's a top because your MACD is curling, about to cross over. But guess what? This just broke a trend line. This is a breakup candle. This is merely a retrace until we're back below the last breakup candle. And of course, you can't time a top, right? That's what some of these indicators try to do, is time tops, time bottoms. You can't do that, right? You have to ride the trend. If you are in a market that is sideways, right, such as over here, then you have to understand, as a price action trader, where are the tops, where are the bottoms, what are the signals of a top and bottom, right? Like I said, have we broken this breakup candle low? Have we broken back below the trend line? That's a signal of a top, right? Combined with volume, combined with looking at other markets and seeing how they're behaving. You can't just time a top or bottom because of an indicator, okay? So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. This market's going to keep going up until we see a signal, right? We just have to play the trend. So again, I went over the XLU in one of my last videos. I think it was one of the midweek videos. I talked about this breakout, and man, would you look at that? That is an incredible breakout on utilities, right? And this is what you guys have to do. Go through these sector ETFs, find the sectors that are currently doing well in a bull market and shift your money to them, right? This is IT, this is technology. Do you really want to be putting your money into this unless it's a shorter term setup on a specific stock like AMD, or for example, Apple just had one. I'll give you a free pick here. Apple just had a nice consolidation range, broke out. Apple's going higher next week. So there's a free pick for you. But do you really want to be investing into most of these stocks that are in IT right now? Not really, unless they're shorter term trades, right? You don't want to be investing in this. You don't want to be doing a lot of swing trades in this area. But that's why smart money will move, they'll rotate their money to different sectors, right? It begins with tech, and it has financials, and then kind of comes the communication services and the consumer stocks, and then you get healthcare, utilities, and that's kind of what's going on right now. A lot of consumer stocks are starting to go up a lot. Healthcare has really come on a rally. You've had communications services like Facebook and Netflix join the party a little late, and now you have utilities breaking out, right? You have what's the XLI is on a massive long-term breakout. The industrials. You have materials are looking to break out, right? Materials are looking good. So you have a lot of stuff that's still just now getting started, which tells me that this bull market isn't anywhere close to being over, despite pullbacks here and there. This is the one we want to keep an eye on, XLE Energy. Energy is actually breaking down. As far as I'm concerned, this trend line is important to me, and we've now broken down. That's not a good sign for the XLE, and why I talk about this is the XLE is typically one of the last sectors that money flows into before the end of the bull market economic cycle. This is the last place that money will flow into. So keep an eye on XLE. When XLE starts really making higher highs, higher lows, and really starts to get going, that's when you should start to be worried. Right now, we're in about a mid-cycle stage. I'm rotating most of my swings into consumer stocks, into utilities currently, and that's what you guys should be looking to do too. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be it for this week's video. I hope you guys learned something. Hopefully this was helpful, talking about the different sectors and economic cycles, and yeah, just remember the big picture, guys, and I'll be updating, right? If there's any big market changes during the middle of the week, I'll try to put a midweek video out, but for now I see us continuing quite a bit higher, whether that's 340, 350. I don't really have a target at this point. I'm just gonna go and play the trend until it's done. All right, so hope you guys enjoy this. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.